Hey everybody, welcome to the fourth episode of Conversations with Robz. I know it's been a while. I'm sorry. I got sick with COVID and got behind on some schoolwork and I'm still trying to catch up on it, but I'm back for you guys and hopefully I can get back to doing weekly episodes. Well, without further ado, here we go. Conversations with Robz. There it is. Okay, recording. Episode 4 of Conversations with Robz. I think that's how you would do that in ASL. I don't know, for anybody that's watching that knows ASL. But this is actually the first time that I've ever asked you your name. But what's your name?
I'm Kika. Actually, I'm Christina, but everyone knows me under Kika. So.
Is Kika like something that you got through traveling, or is it like
No, it's like a common nickname here in Slovakia and in Hungary too. So
Okay. Oh yeah, if we didn't say it, but today's conversation is with a traveler. She travels a lot. Last I talked to you before I got sick, you were going to Greece, or you were in Greece.
yeah, that's one of travel stories too. We were supposed to go to Greece, but with the COVID restrictions, there was a new rule that you need to fill a form like 2 days prior arrival, and we filled the form 1 day prior arrival because that's the same day we booked it, and we were supposed to fly the next day. So it didn't happen. We rebooked the flight to Italy instead and went to Naples. So yes.
So, where is Naples in Italy?
It's in the south of Italy. It's near the volcano Vesuvius and Pompeii, and there is also Capri and Sorrento. So we went through it all, and it was amazing. It was really beautiful.
So, was that your first time in Italy, or have you been there before?
No, I've been there before. I've been in Rome and Verona and Venice, I think, yeah. And this year I've been to Palermo too, which is close to Naples, but it's just like a beach travel destination. So just for a few days we stopped by.
So, are you kind of like a history buff? Like, are you really interested in history?
History too. I am more interested in the city itself, like how is the vibe there, how are the people there, the food, and I usually try to get to know the whole culture behind the country and the city itself. But I am curious about the history too, art, and yeah, anything what can the country offer.
Yeah. So what I'm getting the vibe from is that you travel the world like to experience the different cultures, right?
Yes, exactly.
So are there any cultures that stuck out to you in particular that you were like, wow, maybe I could see myself like settling down here? Or are there some that are like, wow, I'll never come here again?
What I really like is Spain and the um, whole idea what they have there, that they are not really rushing through life. They have these siestas in the afternoon. They take like 2 to 3 hours. They just take a break, and it's really calmer. And you can see that the whole country somehow like wakes up in the evening, and they are like really passionate about music and whole culture. So that's what I like. And also Netherlands, because that the Netherlands, the whole country is like really open-minded about anything, from even living like foreigners moving there to jobs being like remote and you don't have to go to office every day, till the whole LGBTQ community, everything. The whole country is just really open-minded, and I really love that about Netherlands.
I think
And also the nature.
does the Netherlands have like a lot of like forest or wildlife?
Yeah, it does. Even it's a small country, the nature is really beautiful there. They really try to keep it clean, and the green parts of the country stay green, and they really care about the environment. So, yeah.
Have you ever been to Canada?
Yes, I've been there, and it's amazing too. Sorry, every country is like has its own beauty. So,
Yeah, when you brought up nature, I've never been to Canada, but when you brought up nature, I really the first thing I thought of was like how everybody talks about how the majority of Canada is like nature. So I think that's really cool.
yes,
Oh,
yeah,
sorry,
I
that's a
think
train.
so too. Yeah, I think so too. Unfortunately, I haven't really been into Canadian nature. I just been into Montreal, Toronto, and the Niagaras. The Niagaras, oh my God, that was beautiful. And in the night, if you have ever a chance to go there, go and see it at night because it's mesmerizing.
I've recently been trying to get a lot more into traveling myself because I've been to, Mexico a couple times for, family things.
Yeah.
But that was when I was a lot younger. I barely remember it. And I I've only ever been in my state in the US. I've only ever been in California.
Oh,
So
not good.
yeah, in a couple days, I'm gonna be heading over to uh, Nevada. I'm gonna go to Vegas for the first time, so that'll be
Not
fun.
good.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then
but
after that, in December, I'm hoping to go to Texas. So finally, gonna travel out of the California.
yeah, that's good. You should, you definitely should, because even US has like a lot to offer.
Yeah, have
So,
you ever been to the U.S. then?
yeah, actually, when I was in Canada, I've been in US too. Last summer, I've done like a 40-day little minivan tour through the East Coast, then stop in New Orleans for a week, and then the West Coast, and it was amazing. Yeah.
I've always wanted to visit New Orleans. It's just like the fact that like so many great musicians come from New Orleans, and so many great musicians still play there. And if you can't tell, I like to play music.
Yeah,
Uh,
I can tell.
yeah,
I only have a ukulele, so I can't really compare to your collection, but wow.
no, yeah, I'm a music major, so something new about me. Did you go to college by any chance?
I've been to uni. I studied environmental chemistry for bachelor's, and then I just finished that. And yeah,
So, what kind of like job do you get in? Oh, sorry, what did you say it was again? Environmental
environmental chemistry.
chemistry.
Yes, that's a really fun fact about me that even though I finished that and I focused on chemistry, I um, I don't think I will pursue the career in it anymore because I have just like too many options to stick to one path. So I'm switching up and I'm just trying to find a job which will be remote and which will allow me to travel. And I know that chemistry is probably not something which would allow it unless I have like a specific job for like field some
S-
training.
s-
Yeah.
So did you you're from Slovakia, you said, right?
Yes.
So did you go to university there?
No, I've been in Czech Republic for in Brno, and I studied there.
So is that one of those countries where college is free?
Yes. Yes, it's for free. You just have to pay for the student card basically, and then the whole uni is for free, which is really lucky.
And then, so even though like college is free, do you still find yourself having like, or did you find yourself? I know you graduated. Did you find yourself having like financial issues that like get talked about a lot? I know like college is a big issue in the U.S. A lot of people can't afford it and they're scared to go because they're afraid they can't afford it. Um, and I wonder, in countries where it's free, what other kind of like challenges do you face when wanting to go to college?
Mm, I think the only thing is just like passing the college, because even like um because it's free, there is not really a financial problem there, only like the living part. So actually moving somewhere, paying for the rent there and living there. But I don't think it's really problematic, because Czech Republic and Slovakia is one of the like cheapest countries. We usually even say in Czech Republic that the beer is cheaper than water. That's how cheap the country is. So it's definitely worth a visit too.
So, do you feel like you got a better education having free college versus whether you'd have to pay for it?
Mm, I'm not sure. I wouldn't say it's because it's free. It's maybe because of the country itself, that even though we don't have the worst education system here, I still can see that it could be better, and there are huge gaps which would be nice to improve. But uh, yeah, I don't think it's like that bad, especially it's because it's free. So I think it's really good for the level. Yeah.
And then like right now is a hard time right now, right? Because we have so many colleges and so many schools online. So, you have universities telling you like, hey, we're giving you the same kind of information, we're giving you the same quality of education, but it's not really true, right? Because you can't learn the same. And then some of these teachers are not prepared. Like they may take a class or two to try to prepare themselves, but some of them really are not prepared to teach online, and that affects the education of the students. And so
Yeah,
I feel like it's so hard right now to get a as good of an education as you really can. And
yeah, definitely.
I
It
know.
affected it affected here in this country, I think, even more, because we are not really prepared for anything online. But I think this was like a good warning point, where they realized that, okay, if this happens again or something similar, then we need to be prepared for that. And they really started working on it. So I'm glad that at least it helped something.
I know in the US there's a lot of students requesting that the colleges lower their tuition because they feel like they're not getting all the resources that they should be. And I just think it's a really hard time. But since you brought up like how your country was handling the situation with everything going on, how did COVID-19 affect Slovakia? And were you guys like kind of just doing okay, and then all of a sudden like a bunch of stuff happened, or was it just like here and there?
Slovakia actually handled the whole situation pretty good. I was even surprised that the number of cases were really low and still are. And like, if you check the statistics for Czech Republic now, at some point the Czech Republic was the worst country in the whole world, like per number of citizens living there. And if I compare it to Slovakia, then Slovakia handled it really good. I don't know if we were just lucky that we didn't get so many cases, that people don't travel that much, or everyone was scared. But I know that we had even a campaign that the masks are not a shame, because a lot of people were telling that it's a shame to wear a mask in the beginning. and I knew that there was a problem there, and so they created like a campaign that mask is not a shame. So I think that helped a lot too. And now we actually had a whole country testing. So everyone, literally everyone, had to go tested, or they had to stay in 10-day quarantine. And it's still happening now. We had it last weekend in our city, so it was really interesting to see. So we will see how it all goes down.
So, is Slovakia a communist country, or is it a democracy?
Yeah, it was communist for a long time, and everybody knows it like that. But now it's democracy.
Okay. The reason why I'm asking is because me and a lot of my friends have we we kind of think that the U.S. because the U.S. is pretty bad right now with the pandemic. It feels like it's not gonna go away. Um, we kind of like figured that like the reason why it's really bad in America or the U.S. the United States specifically is that it's a democracy, that like we have like the right to say no, we're not going to do certain things. And then because of that, we have people that are like, oh, I don't want to, I don't want to get tested, I don't want to do that. Or and then they recommend that we stay inside, right? But then some people are like, no, like I can go outside if I want to go
Yeah.
outside. And then it's different, because in some countries you don't have that choice, right? Like it's like, no, you're staying inside, because if you're not, no, they like yeah. So I feel like it's hard, right? Because like the US has like it's great, we get to do pretty much whatever we want at any time, but there's a downside to that. Like right now people are just acting like there's nothing wrong and people are getting sick.
Yeah, here people listened like really well to the government. They could see that like COVID is really an issue, so they were listening and did what needed to be done. Of course, like some people traveled and they didn't they didn't do everything what they said, but otherwise I think it was pretty okay and still is. So especially with this even country testing, like you could see that everyone went tested and they really did what had to be done.
So since you travel so much, I'm kind of curious, have you heard what other countries think about the United States?
Um, I mean, I heard different things, so I don't know what exactly are you asking,
Well, in
or
regards
like
to
any.
in regards to like the current situation, because
Oh,
I've heard a lot of rumors that like the countries around the world are kind of making fun of us for kind of struggling so much. So is that true?
yes, it is kinda is. I mean, when I was in back in middle school, the only thing I heard, because my two like classmates went to US for a year, and when they came back, basically the only thing they said that everyone is kind of dumb there, or like if they don't go to like you could see that the IQ of people are lower or something like that. And I'm like, I mean, maybe not. I don't know. I can't really tell because I never been there. But I mean, it depends always on the people. So of course, some states stay in the lower, but I mean, they are intelligent people for sure. Hopefully, there too. So
Well, it's funny that you bring up IQs. Like, it has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but since you brought up IQs, I have a boss, and he went to school for psychology, so he has a master's in psychology, and he was talking about he did a whole paper on like IQs and all that kind of stuff. The IQ levels, and he said that those tests that they take are like they were originally made for toddlers, and that like they're actually very like biased, and they're like because they're very culturally based. So like if you lived in like a mostly white neighborhood, good neighborhood, you're most likely to get a higher IQ than someone who lived in like a worse neighborhood, because those questions are more tailored to the people that live in those neighborhoods.
Huh, that's interesting. I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
That's
and then like to my
really
knowledge,
good.
the U.S. is like one of the only countries that romanticizes, I guess, like your IQ levels. Like it's like, oh, you have a high IQ, like that's great.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, there are different types of even intelligence, so you can't really measure a person's intelligence just on the IQ, but there are different aspects. So it's hard to know how intelligent is a person. And
Yeah,
also, it's really different intelligence and being smart, because I know some intelligent people who are not really smart sometimes,
yeah.
like they do just dumb stuff.
Like we have this joke in the US about STEM, you know, people that study STEM, you know, the sciences and all that. Um we have this joke where like, yeah, they're smart, but they lack common sense. So like,
Yeah.
yeah, so like, you know, they can solve all these great equations, but they don't know where to return a book. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly what I'm talking about, but it happens.
yeah,
Everyone is sometimes not that smart, and we do dumb mistakes, but we learn from it, so it's good.
so how often do you travel?
It really depends on the season and the situation. So normally before this whole COVID thing happened, I was traveling from 1 to 3 times a month, let's say. Depends on how much time I've got, and I was studying also at uni, and at some point I was working too, so I had to handle the time carefully, but yeah, usually 1 to 3, and then on summer, usually the whole summer. So I am just always going back home to repack my stuff and then eating to another country.
Yeah. So that's kind of the cool thing, right? That you like you live like Europe, right?
Yeah.
So that continent is kind of amazing, right? Well, not just that continent, like the multiple continents on that side of the world are kind of amazing on how many little countries reside in those continents. And then like I I have a friend who travels, and he told me that like all you have to do is get to the other side of the world, and from there you could like take a train anywhere.
Yeah, it is exactly like that. Like everyone who comes to Europe, they are amazed by like the efficiency, because you can just fly anywhere to Europe and then just get by train, bus, or boat or anything, because you can, for me, for example, for you, maybe it takes like 8 hours to even get to another state, and for us, in 8 hours you can get through 4 countries and just be near the sea, for example, for me.
Yeah, like for example, I live in the Central Valley, so like I live right in the middle of California. I live in Fresno. So um right, like above us, you know, we have Sacramento, and that's about 3 hours away.
Yeah.
And that's like from like, if this is California and here's Fresno, like here's
Mhm.
Sacramento, and that
Yeah.
takes 3 hours to get there.
Yeah, it's so weird. When I was in US, I really noticed like how different it is to even like how far it can be. And then people here actually have even a different mindset about like these distances, because in US you can clearly see that okay, so let's go to another city for 5 hours because we want to go there, and here people don't go to another country which is 5 hours away because oh god, it's 5 hours, like I don't want to go there, it's too far away.
Yeah.
Or like if they go to sea from Slovakia, which is like 7-8 hours away, they go for a week because they don't think it's worth to go there and back. And when I came back from US, we took a trip just to Croatia and back, which is 7 hours, just because we could like see the difference that it's just 7 hours, it's not that much, so we can just
Yeah.
go for a weekend.
That's crazy that like you could just like if you wanted to like just get up and travel here in the US, like you'd be like going to just another city or at maybe at most another state, but like one close by. Because it's like a 2-3 hour flight from like California to Nevada.
Mm-hmm.
And then
yeah, it's a lot. I know. I mean, when I was in the US, I had a like an inner flight from New York to New Orleans and from New Orleans to LA, so I could see even the inner city flights were really long and sometimes too much. But I think even I even have the layover in Texas because they couldn't like fly from New Orleans to LA straight. So I was like, oh wait, oh my god, it's really long distance.
And then like some of our states are like some of them are like 3 times bigger than some of the countries in Europe. And so I find that so crazy.
Yeah, it is. It's a really big difference, really big.
Okay. So, in the US, when we fly, you know, we have like the economy, then we have like business, and then we have first class business, and then you have like, you know, all that kind of stuff. The different like, I guess, sections of a plane. Do you guys have that too
Yes, we do, but there are also a lot of cheap airlines where they are usually just business class and the economy. And the business class is the difference only that you have like more space for legs, but otherwise you sit like in the same section, so there is not like big of a difference because it takes like literally 20 euros a flight. A return flight, not a one way flight. I even had a flight for €1 and €1 back. There was like a huge price discount, and I think I even bought some flights for 1 cent, literally 1 cent, which is you can't get anything for 1 cent, even a pen. But I got a flight for 1 cent.
So what is the dollar to the euro right now?
I don't even know. I can check. I know at some point it was the same, but usually euros are $1 is 0.85 euro.
So that means that the dollar is more expensive right now?
I mean,
no, it means the euro is more expensive.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. I you know, there's a reason why I'm a music major and not a math major. So when you come to the US, when you did you think that things were like kind of cheap, or did you like were things still pretty expensive?
For me, it's kind of hard to compare because, like as I said, Slovakia and Czech Republic are really cheap. So even if I go to any other country around, like Austria or Germany, then it's like double or triple the price. So the same was with US, but I think there are. It's a little bit more expensive, but the gas there is like pretty cheap. I mean, depends on the East Coast. I noticed that West Coast is like double the price than East
Yeah.
Coast. I was so surprised. I was like, we will save up so much during the way. Like it's not that much. And then we arrived to West Coast and shit, it's double.
Yeah. And then
So
when you came to the West Coast, were you just in LA?
no, the plane landed in LA, and so LA, San Francisco, like 8 national parks. So even for example, Bryce or what did we? Grand Canyon. Oh, Grand Canyon was amazing, but you know it.
Well,
And then
I've never been to the Grand Canyon. I want to go though.
yeah, but I mean, everyone knows that
Yeah.
Grand Canyon is just amazing. But if you go there, actually, I was watching it, like I was looking at it like for 10 minutes. I wasn't sure if it's like really real or a wallpaper. Like in the distance, it really looked like a wallpaper. It was like so clear, but so yeah, sorry. Yeah.
No, yeah, that's the power of nature, right? It's like
Yeah,
so undescribably beautiful, right? Um,
So I'm from the national park, just back to Las Vegas and then LA. So yeah.
so it's kind of crazy. You've been more places in my own country than me.
Yeah, it kinda is. I was really lucky that I could do that. So, and hopefully I will be back in 2 years because I'm planning to buy a van and start a van life first here in Europe a little bit and then just ship myself with the van to Canada or US and travel through Canada and US.
I watch like some YouTubers that do that. That's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's getting really popular, but I always kind of had this dream, but I was never sure that I can actually do it because it seemed like so far and so hard to do it. But now that I travel more and more, the more frequently I travel, I realize that it's easy. It's actually easy. You just have to put yourself up there and just go. So.
And then, so did you grow up speaking English?
No, I only spoke Slovak and Hungarian, and then I actually learned English since I was 6, even in the kindergarten, I think, but I never actually knew anything in it. Like I couldn't really speak, and then I took German for 9 years. So I was always in the German course and not the English one, so I didn't really know how to express myself. But then I went to language school when I was 16, I think, for 3 years, which really helped me a lot. And then in Brno, when I moved to Czech Republic, there were a lot more international students. So I kind of started to speak more and understood.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you're really good. Like, there's some people that have been living in America their whole lives and they don't speak as good as you. So,
Thank you. I'm trying.
sorry, my phone was. Oops. My
Don't break it.
my phone was ringing and I was like, oh, I didn't want it to vibrate on my table, so I just.
Why didn't you just decline it? I don't want to. Let me just throw it out of the window.
Yeah, if that's not the most American thing I've done today, I don't know.
Yeah.
So I know. Oh, have you ever been to Japan?
No, I haven't been to Asia at all, so no.
Oh, that's kind of crazy because it's like right next to Europe, right?
I mean, right next to Europe,
Well,
kinda
okay, yeah.
is like it's something like Europe for New Yorkers. So let's say that it's still a really huge flight, like a really long one. So no, I only been in Europe, then now US, Canada, and then from Africa just Egypt. So, but I've been to Egypt 12 times actually. That's fun fact.
So
Yeah,
what is it about Egypt that calls you back so many times?
the Red Sea, the underwater world is just amazing there. The corals and the fish, everything. It's really perfect for diving, and my family loved it there. My dad is windsurfing, and my mom just really likes hot weather, so we always been there with family. Yeah.
So like speaking of like like the ocean life and stuff like that, have you been to many like coastal cities on like in Europe?
Yeah, yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
So
But yeah,
that being said, like do you like scuba dive or do you do anything like that?
only in Egypt actually. Every time I went diving, only in Egypt because there was the best underwater world. So Europe has some countries with really nice views too, and really nice beaches, but I feel like the underwater world is not that nice because it's pretty damaged from all the tourists there. They are going. So yeah, but I am sure that there are some places I just haven't discovered yet.
So are you like not much of like a beach person? Like you don't like beaches and like.
I do. I really like just laying on the beach for the whole day and just relaxing. But I always like to see the city too, or at least the area I am in. Because if I am already there, then let's see something and not just stay 1 week at the beach and do nothing, which can be nice too. Like it's really relaxing, but sometimes it can be too much. So,
It's kind of like a funny thing is like I'm a swimmer. Like I swam like all of high school and
no.
I started the swim club at my university. Uh but I'm scared of like the ocean.
Okay, but ocean is different. Like I thought, okay, ocean is just like sea, it doesn't matter. And I was like, it's nothing. So when we went to LA, I was like, yeah, let's go swim. I mean, it's just the ocean. I've been in the sea so many times. It's the same. Yeah, it's not the same. The waves in LA were so high. I was just like rolling myself 2 times, and then got like a little respect for the ocean, and now I am
Yeah.
more careful. But that's different. Like swimming in the ocean is kind of different than swimming in the sea.
And then it's not even just oceans, like lakes and rivers too. Like they scare me because like I don't know if you've ever like I've we have the San Joaquin River right here. And so I've been in the San Joaquin River, I've been to certain areas of it and like I remember one time I was like 10 maybe and I went like kayaking for something and I looked down and like a portion of it like you could see the floor, but then another portion had a hole and it was just pitch black and I don't like that. That's scary. So
Yeah, the depths can be scary sometimes, especially with the ocean because you don't know where it's ending. You can just fall and you die.
yeah, and I'm gonna be honest, drowning is one of my worst fears.
Oh. Then I am surprised that you were a swimmer for such a long time because drowning. But
I I love swimming, but like when I swim, like I swim in like lap pools and stuff like that. So I can most of the time I can see the bottom, and that helps me. And I know that like I'm confident in myself, like as long as I know that there's a bottom. But there's just
makes
something
sense.
about not knowing about anything that's below you.
Yeah. I mean, ocean and lakes have a bottom too, just like really deep.
Yeah,
So till you find the bottom, it can take some time.
yeah. I don't think I'm coming back up though.
No.
But speaking of the unknown, when you travel, there has to be a lot of unknowns, right? Like you don't know, like, it's like if you're visiting a country for the first time, you don't really know what it's gonna be like. And even if like you know someone who's been there before, like that's not like your experience, right? So you don't know
Yeah.
what it's gonna be like for you. So how do you get past that initial fear for like anybody that's watching who may be like a beginner traveler, like I'm trying to become? Like how do you stop fearing like, oh, what's gonna happen to me there?
I think just travel more and more, I guess, because I can see now the difference that when I go traveling now and I take a plane, I take the plane as it is like a bus or a train. So, for example, when my parents ask me where I am going, I'm like, I don't know, I might go here or there, or like, depends on the flights. I don't care. And they are like, oh, okay, but don't you have to prepare or something? Or pack. And I'm like, no, I mean, packing is literally 1 hour or 2 hours. Booking a flight is even easier. So it really goes with the experience, I think. Because first time when I was solo traveling in Spain, I came to Malaga, I landed and I was lost. I didn't know what to do. I couldn't ask anyone because they didn't really speak English there. Like it's really mostly Spanish. So I was just trying to figure it out somehow. Luckily, we have this smart thingies, which
Yeah.
is phone, and everything is on Google Maps, so that's good. But otherwise, I think just ask people maybe, because usually there are at least some English speakers. So if you ask 10 people, one will be English speaker, and that helps a lot. That they are like the people there are still the same people as back home, the same thing. It's just a different language. So but they will help you out. So it's okay.
And then, so have you found that there are nicer people around the world, or do you run into like a lot of rude people?
I ran into some rude people too, who were just naturally rude that I didn't even like talk to them first or nothing, and they just started shouting at me for no reason. So sometimes it happens, but that's why even Netherlands is one of the countries, or maybe not the whole Netherlands, but when I was in Eindhoven, I could see when you make eye contact with anyone in Eindhoven, they automatically say hi to you because, I mean, you made eye contact, so of course I will greet you. And that normally never happens, or I wasn't used to it. And when my friend said that, yeah, this is common here, then I was really surprised. And also US. I was so surprised, but people there were like generally nice and wanted to help out, do small talks. Like I just went to walk a little bit and I saw a deer near like houses, and I was so shocked that what does a deer here do? So I asked the woman who was walking her dog, and we ended up having like a 10-minute conversation because why not? So I like that about US too, that people tried to talk to you and didn't say that, okay, go away, we don't want you. So
So, since you travel so many places, have you ever ran into people like just not liking you because of your accent, or because like, like just for being, someone who's not from that country?
funny enough that the only mm, I'm rethinking it, but I don't think I have. The only place I haven't felt welcome was actually my own country, because we have like a really big difference here in Slovakia, that the south of Slovakia is all Hungarians, and I am actually half Hungarian too. So I knew from like stories of my friend who is Hungarian too, and it happened to me too, that some Slovakians didn't really like Hungarians back then in time, and it still like sticked to their culture. And now they still don't like Hungarians, so they were rude to me just because I had a Hungarian accent. But it's funny that it only happened in my country, that usually people who are abroad, they are happy that people are coming there and they have tourism, so, and they want to help you. So, yeah.
So it's kind of funny that you bring that up because the U.S. has a real big problem with racism,
With Mexico.
and
Yeah, and
uh,
the
it
rest.
it's kind of become part of, like, the, what's the word, the government, like, like
Yeah.
the government is basically built off of, the foundations of America are really racism, if you really go down to it. And that's kind of, sad, but to to it's kind of crazy that when you think about it, that a lot of countries are pretty similar in that aspect. um
Yeah.
because aren't I don't know my European history that well, but wasn't the Scottish wasn't Scotland originally taken over by Britain?
Oh, I don't really know a lot about Scotland, but I mean, it's part of Great Britain now, so the Britain Alliance, but I don't think there been so like in the past there been differences for every country, because there were the First and the Second World War, and they were just trying to get everyone their own like little space. So I think that was the main point how people started to hate each other, because they were fighting against each other. But otherwise, I don't think there is a huge like racism between countries. Maybe now, maybe just like little rivalry, like in Slovakia, the Hungarian Slovakians, or the racism itself against Black people, which is still, I don't know, like the whole racism for me doesn't really make sense, because why? Like, you are still a human. You, even if you weren't a human, even if you are a zombie, I am nice to you, so you are nice to me. Like, is it that hard to do? Or I don't know.
Have you witnessed racism of any kind across the world?
Yeah, a lot. Um, even here in Slovakia, or at some other parts. Like, I think I almost even got into a fight in Brno because of this, because I've been with some Spanish friends outside, and we wanted to go to a restaurant, and there was like 10 of us. And I asked them like if they have a place, like a table, and I could clearly see that there have been a lot of like tables which were free, so they could just pull two together or something. And I've been speaking Czech to them, and they asked me like something, that where are the like the friends from, and I'm Spain, because they heard like something Spanish, and that, oh, we don't have space here or something. And they literally said no to us just because they were from Spain. And I I was shocked, and I was starting to like fight with them, like, how is this possible? Like, are you normal? Like, this is, we are people. It's just we are not in 90s, like 19th century. This is,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's really frustrating to see how the world kind of, has progressed so much, and it's brought so many people together. But at the
Yeah.
same time, there's some people that are not keeping up with the times.
Mm-hmm.
um and it's hard, uh so do you think, like, racism around the world, um as a concept, happens towards people of color more often, or do you think it varies between the countries? Where,
Mm,
because I feel like the US, like, we focus so much on the colored, people, being having racism towards them or us. Not to exclude myself, but is it that same way in other countries? Like, because I know in some countries, like, you don't see many colored people there, right? Because there's really just not that many colored people that live there.
Yeah.
So does that mean like I'm just really curious since you've been so many places, like,
Yeah, I don't think usually what I found is usually racism against people of color because they feel like they are different, but they are not. And even if there are like these little racisms in countries, as I said, the Slovaks and Hungarian, I don't think it's like that bad than in US. Like there is no like really life threat here, or like they start to fight with you, they start to argue, or they say that, oh, you shouldn't be here because you are something else. But otherwise, I don't think it's that bad. That I can clearly see that in US it's a huge problem, and there is like gun violence, and it's a whole different level, which I still can't comprehend. Like, how is it possible? Like, we are in modern world, so normally a person would think that, okay, there are intelligent people here and we won't fight for stupidity, but it still happens. And yeah, I don't know.
uh, onto maybe a brighter note, uh Eurovision, right? You do you watch that, or do you know what it
Oh,
is?
I know what it is, but I didn't watch it. I just knew that there were the Little Big were there, the Skiddy what the fuck? The
Oh,
song.
I'm not talking about the movie.
No, no, about the awards. No.
Yeah, about the competition that all the countries have.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't watch it?
No, I don't. I didn't.
No, it's fine. I was curious to hear from somebody that is European, uh, what their thoughts were on it, because to my knowledge, it was a contest made after World War II as like a way to bring all the European countries together, right?
I am not sure. Like, I don't really know a lot about Eurovision itself and its history, so I can't really tell you much about that.
No, that's fine. Um, I was just curious, music and so
Yeah.
yeah. So I don't know if you said it already, like, because I know I asked it in the beginning, but I know you cut off a little bit. So a big question that I have is, what was really like your least favorite country to visit?
Least favorite. Um, I don't know. I don't think I had any. Like, every country has its own beauty, and there is always something which you will find nice. So I can't really say that there was any country which I didn't like, or where I had any problems. I think, yeah, I can't pick anything.
Yeah, so there's no country that you've been to where you're like, nope, never coming here again.
No.
That's really cool. That I actually find that very like reassuring, because I do want to travel the world and I want to see these other countries, and the fact that you say, like, you haven't experienced a moment where you're like, I'm never coming back here, is reassuring for me, because that just means that there's something great to find in every place.
It is definitely, like, even if something bad happened to me, which I was lucky enough because I didn't have any like major issues during traveling, that I wasn't like threatened with life, or I didn't experience anything like really bad. Of course, I had some few bad experiences with people, and sometimes people can be really sketchy, so you even know ahead that, okay, I shouldn't trust this person. But otherwise, I don't think there is anything. Of course, you need to look the country up, have like a little knowledge about it, maybe know even a few words. That's always nice. Like if you are a beginner, then definitely check the laws, or what if you want to like do something. It doesn't mean that it has to be legal there, even if it's legal in where you are from. So that can be a difference, but otherwise, I don't think there is anything which would make you stop traveling. Like, you need to be careful, and depends on the country where you go. So of course, if you go to countries where there is war still happening, then you need to be more careful, and you can't just go around the country as you like, and you need to have a tour guide. But otherwise, yeah, I think everything is possible if you really want it. So.
And it's a little harder, right? Because you it's a little harder as a woman, right, to travel alone, and you know, because and not to say, you know, women are strong. I grew up in a mostly woman family, like my grandma, my aunts, like the majority of like authority figures in my life are women, and they scare me so much. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I honestly believe that women are like the scariest creatures on earth. Like, um like I
No, I get that. I
yeah,
get that. My mom is the same. She's strict, and even our dogs, when she comes out to the garden, our dogs run. That okay, we are
yeah.
good.
Like my grandma does this like little pucker of her lip when she's mad, and it just looks like she's gonna beat me up, and so I'm just like, nah, like, you know, like I'm gonna just walk away. Like, I was like, the last thing I need to do is get in a fight with my grandma.
Yeah,
But,
it can be scary and
yeah.
dangerous.
Oh, but um, I was also gonna ask, what is your what was like your favorite food that you ate from another country, or
Oh,
even your own,
what? Sorry.
or even your own country? Like, you know,
Yeah.
well,
Uh,
let's do this. How about you say your favorite food that you ate in another country, and then your personal favorite food from your country?
okay. So, what I ate in another country. Um, it's hard to pick something. Maybe some tapas in Spain. Tapas is like a traditional snack in Spain that they never. Okay, they have like, of course, normal meals, but it's really common to go out in the evening and not have like a full dinner, but just beers with tapas, which is a snack. So you get a full plate for every second beer or every beer, and you can just eat the snacks with the beer, and it's also cheaper to get it. And if you are like more friends, then it's really nice. You can try the cuisine, and the seafood there is amazing, because I mean, depends on where you are, but I've been on the coast, so it's near the sea, so the seafood is
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah, maybe that. And sushi, but I can't really say that I had it in the original country, so, but yeah. And from our country, brinzové halušky is the national food, and it's really amazing for people who hate cheese, which I still don't understand, but okay. Then they would won't like it, because it's something like it's made of so it's like pastry. Then you have like goat cheese, but not really goat cheese, but it's processed a little bit. And there is brinza, which there is no word in English for it, but the brinza is the product which you put on, and then you put on bacon, and that's how you eat it, and it's amazing. If you come here, definitely try that.
Okay. So I'm a vegetarian.
Oh.
And I know
That's,
that a lot of people in the US are, being vegan and vegetarian is a really trending thing right now. I've noticed that more and more people are becoming vegan and more people are becoming vegetarian. Uh, that being said, that's a very restrictive diet when you're traveling, right? Because a lot of places eat meat and a lot of places, So, in my case, I'm what they call like a lacto ovo vegetarian. So like I can eat eggs and I can eat dairy products. So I love cheese, and I love milk. I'm not gonna lie to you. I love me some chocolate milk. I couldn't give it up, but how can someone travel and still like is there like some countries where you're like, oh, you shouldn't go there if you're a vegetarian because there's not really going to be many options for you? And is there like
mm,
a country that's like, oh, this country would be great for you?
I think it really depends on the ability of the person to cook. Like, if you can cook your own food, then I don't think you should have any problems anywhere because there are grocery stores everywhere and you can just get what you want and cook it yourself at home. So that's not a problem. And for people who don't cook and just order, then I would recommend bigger cities or the capitals because they always have. So, um, for example, our small town, I am not sure. We definitely have vegetarian options and everything, but the restaurants close pretty early and it's not so common to even order here. So, like the bigger city is, the more options you have. But I don't think there is any like problem with it anymore, because it's pretty common to have everywhere at least a vegetarian option. But then the vegan, it can be harder.
Yeah.
So,
I will admit that being vegan, that's some serious stuff. Like that's really hard. Like to,
yeah.
like, uh,
I can't imagine myself being vegan. I tried being vegetarian for a month just to see if I can be without meat, and I didn't have any problem because I was even thinking about going vegetarian full on. And now I just try to reduce the meat I consume. Or for example, my dad is a hunter, so we have. So I know that the meat I eat is not an animal which was tortured and been through a whole process, but it's been in the nature his whole life, and then it was shot and killed.
yeah, yeah.
But that it wasn't tortured, so it gives me a little bit of calm that it's like not that bad, and I try to reduce it so it's not. Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love meat. Like, I love filet mignon. I like I love me like some quality meat. But there's part of me that's like because I like it so much, like that's why I don't want to eat it.
Mm.
It's something that I like to do personally. Is I like to if I like something a lot, I'll kind of like deprive myself of it. So it's like kind of like having the self discipline to like, oh, you really want to do this but you're not going to.
Mhm.
Because when I hang out with friends and they're eating meat and they're doing all this stuff, I'm like, that looks good, but I'm not gonna eat it. So uh that's just me.
It's an
Yeah.
interesting point of view. Like, I can get that some good things in life you don't want to like do often. So when you do it, then it's like a better experience. But with food, it's like really about self-discipline a lot. So
Yeah.
huge respect for you, even if you see them and you really want to. So yeah, I don't.
So um in the US obviously there's so much fast food, right? um is Slovakia a country where there's like a lot of fast food restaurants, or is it like
Um, There is a fast food here too, and all over Europe, but I think it's a lot less than in US. Like I could see the difference that in US it was everything about fast food. People always went to fast food and didn't really go to normal restaurants. And here people try to eat more healthy and have a healthy lifestyle. So only if you are pissed drunk at 2 a.m., then you go to fast food because that's what you are craving. But otherwise, not really. But I mean, of course, there are chains here, but not that much.
So, speaking of like, the fact that the so many people in the U.S. like eat fast food. Not that I'm exempt from it. I eat it a lot too, more than I should. Um, you know, there's really like I've thought about it, and like a big reason why is because healthy food is really expensive here, and even like if you go to a fast food restaurant and they have healthy options, like let's say you want to go to McDonald's and get a salad, the salad could be like $3, but you could get a McChicken for $1, and then you could get two of them for $2. So it's like, you know, what am I
Yeah,
gonna do? Like, so
yeah, I
they
noticed that there too.
they kind of like set it up for you to be like, oh yeah, we have healthy options, but we still want you to just like, these are cheaper. Like,
Yeah, I noticed that there. Here it's the same. That of course the fast food is cheaper, but it's the price is not that high that people wouldn't buy it, and mm, it really depends more on the country itself because it's so varied here. Like I can say that in Slovakia, it's everything is cheap here, and cooking a healthy food at home is a lot cheaper than if you even go to any restaurant or just order in. But in other countries, some like orders can be cheaper than actually cooking itself. So it really depends on the country in Europe. So
and then so do you guys have like a lot of the same like fast food chains? Like, do you have like Burger King over there?
we have McDonald's, Burger King, KFC, and I think, and like Subway. And I think that's all the fast food or like the bigger ones. If I didn't leave anything out, no. But we don't have anything like Chipotle or Taco Bell or this. Oh, we have also Cheeseburger. I don't know if there is a thing there. Uh, yeah. So,
Um,
but you have like a huge various which you can choose from. So we usually just have like fast food is burgers or chicken and fries and that's all. But I noticed that in US you can get anything.
Basically anything, yeah.
Yeah.
So and in here at least in at Burger King, there's a brand of like alternative meat called Impossible, like Impossible Burgers and Impossible Meat or whatever you want to call it. So Burger King has like a deal with it where they have like Impossible patties. So like how they have the Whopper at McDonald's? I mean, McDonald's,
Mhm.
Burger King. At Burger King they have the Impossible Whopper. Do they have that in Slovakia as well? Like a
I no, I don't think so. I never heard about an impossible meat.
That's very
So
interesting. That's super interesting to me. I'm sorry. Like as a vegetarian, that's super interesting to me. Um
yeah, here I don't think if there is like any other meat, then maybe just like a vegan option or like a vegetarian option, but I never heard about an impossible meat type. No.
maybe next time you go, you ask them like, "Hey, do you have an Impossible Whopper?" And then
Yeah.
if not, then maybe the next time you come to America, ask.
Okay, I will try next time I am there.
And then definitely if you come to the West Coast, In and Out.
Oh, I've been there actually.
Yeah?
Yeah. The In and Out, I heard that that's like the original like fast food chain, or like in like the first ones, and the burgers were actually like really nice. I I liked it, and I like that there is like simplicity there. So you have like four types, and that's all, and you have everything there. So that's nice.
They actually have a secret menu like of like different things, and like you can get like animal style stuff, and so
Oh, and how do you ask for the secret menu or?
I guess you just know like like your friends tell you, you know, and they're like, hey, you know, like,
Huh.
and I don't know. But I believe that In and Out is very much like a West Coast kind of thing. Like I don't think there is any in the East Coast.
I am not sure. We had it in West Coast too, so maybe.
And then, did you ever have Dutch Bros while you were here, or do you have Dutch Bros in Slovakia?
No. What, Dutch rolls or?
Dutch Bros, like, you know, short for like brothers, like bros.
Oh,
Um, but
no,
like
never heard of it.
Dutch Bros is
What
like a
is it?
coffee like franchise, like, you know,
Oh,
Starbucks. It's kind of like the big competitor of Starbucks in the U.S. And I don't think maybe it originated in the U.S. Maybe, but like it's really popular, like in like the big cities, and so
mm.
well, I don't live
And
in like a huge city, but like
yeah, I never tried it. I don't even drink coffee, so maybe that's why. But no.
that's the cool thing about Dutch Bros is like they have so many different options. They have like lemonades, like these blended
No.
things, and then I always get a large cold pour chocolate milk. So like, you know, I told you earlier I love chocolate milk, so yeah, I always get a chocolate milk.
Okay, next time I will crave chocolate milk, I will go there.
Okay, okay. Um, and you know something that I find great is like in and it's not just in the U.S. Obviously, it's everywhere. Like, um, every little town has like a place that specifically like, you know, like it has its own like little local restaurant that is like not a big franchise, like it's only in that town, and like
Yeah.
those are like I love those little places.
Yeah, I like that too. I actually been to like some places like that in US. I remember one which we just had to stop by somewhere to camp for the night. So we were in like a really small town, and we asked people that where is like the best restaurant in town, like what to try. And they sent us to this fast food, like a little stall or something, like a little shop kind of thing. And there were some seafood, and it was amazing, like one of the best seafoods I tried. And like it's really nice to experience something which you normally wouldn't even know about, or we didn't even find it on maps, and it wasn't really common there. So always ask people. That's a good tip. Because
and
they
then
know what's good as the locals.
and then in California, like I feel like this is very much like a California thing, is like there's like a taco truck like on every corner, and like,
Huh.
you know, like at night, like when the sun goes down, there's like a taco truck everywhere. And so like, you know, you can get street tacos anywhere, you know, like it's like I don't know, it's really cool. I don't know if you ever had like tacos like
I never tried tacos from a truck, but I heard about this. I never seen one actually, but I heard about it, but I never seen one. So maybe next time.
I did you ever like stay the night in LA?
Yes. To I mean, it wasn't like straight in LA. I think um, I think 1 or 2 nights, but just like in like we were traveling with a minivan, so we were sleeping in the car. So I didn't really stay in any like places in LA, but for the night, yes. Why or? Why did you ask?
Because you know, it's kind of hard for me to believe that like you were in LA and like didn't like see a taco truck, or like maybe you saw it and you didn't know it was a taco truck.
Maybe that can be too, because I know that I seen like a lot of trucks with different foods, but I maybe didn't really pay attention that okay, that's taco truck. Okay, next time I will pay attention and try to find it.
So, have you ever been to Mexico?
No,
No?
but I definitely want to go there. I was supposed to go there, but then there was like an issue, so we couldn't. Like there was this thing that it was dangerous to go to the city. I was supposed to go in because like some criminals were telling the Ministry of Education that they will kill everyone in students and teachers if they don't get money. So, and we were supposed to open there a new language school. So we didn't go after all because we knew that it's dangerous to, especially for schools now. Yeah. But one time I definitely want to go there.
So, my grandpa is from Oaxaca, Mexico. So I definitely recommend, you know, going to Oaxaca. There's some really cool stuff there. It's a very it's very still connected to its indigenous roots. So so you know, you'll see a lot of like a Native American stuff there. They even like in Oaxaca they have like temples like all over like Oaxaca that you can like visit below.
Okay. Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
I will check it if I'm there.
And I mean, you know, it's not like, you know, like Veracruz where you can, or you know, it's not like Jalisco where you find all like the like Jalisco is like the birthplace of like mariachi. So, you know, that's where you'll find like all those makers, you know, the people that make like vihuelas and guitarrons and guitars and all that. And yeah, I don't know. That probably doesn't mean anything to you.
I mean, it will at some point when I will be there. So, but I mean, I want to see everything. So one day I will travel to Mexico too, and I will remember that you told me this. And yeah.
So, is your goal to like visit every country in the world?
Probably the end goal, yes, to definitely visit, but I'm not really aiming to like go to every country that, oh, okay, I haven't been here, so I will prefer this over the country I've been. It's more about like knowing the country itself. So even though I've been in, I don't know, Czech Republic a lot of times, and I live there, there are still places there which I would like to see and visit. So I am not really like against visiting a country again. But yeah, definitely I want to see all the countries if I can. Sorry, I kicked my trash.
No, you're good. So I like that. So it's very much like it's not just to like visit and see the culture, like you really want to like know it, right?
Yeah. I mean,
like
I don't need to know everything about it, and I can't really study the country itself fully, but it's always nice to experience the whole culture and the whole everything behind it, because if you just travel, see the places, which can be nice, like there are some monuments which you will never see anywhere else, so it's nice to see them, but also it's a different experience if you try the food, talk to the locals, and experience the culture itself, and you can get like a whole new feeling of the country or the city itself. So that's really nice.
Like off topic, but the way that we met was on Discord, and that was the Yes Theory. So is that like a YouTube channel you watch as well?
Yes. I mean, I've been watching them for 3 or 4 years now, and I haven't really watched the new episodes now. Like I started to notice that everyone who joined so yesterday created a Facebook group, and that's how it all started. And there was like the Discord group created, and people there are the fans of Yes Theory. But I noticed that people who started to talk more and go to more meetups, they didn't really watch the videos already, because it's like we can see that there is like some change in their videos, that it's like too easy for them to make the videos, and maybe people don't relate to it anymore because they put content which we can't really do ourselves. Like before, it was I don't know, hitting up people and asking them to jump in their pool, so we
Yeah.
can do that too as like normal human beings. But now, if there is like heli bungee with Will Smith, you can't really do that every
Yeah.
day, which was, by the way, really cool to see. And if I have any opportunity to do it, yes. But yeah.
Did you see the video they did where they like camped out at night like on like that like bungee thing where they're like it's like over like in like super high up and...
Yeah, I've seen that. That's amazing. That's really, really scary.
Yeah, I would not.
I think I would. I would
Wow.
probably, I mean, I would maybe be scared that with my like moving a lot during the night, I would just like roll myself out there. But I definitely want to try it. For me, every like I have a fear of anything, then I want to try it even more just to push the fear. So yes, I am just open to anything. So
So you're kind of like a are you like an adrenaline junkie? Like you like it like you like to feel that like that fear and that like
uh, maybe I never really thought about it like this, but I think yes, because that's when I feel more alive, and I even my heartbeat and everything is a little bit lower than the normal. So one time when we were in Budapest with Yes Fam, actually, I organized the New Year's Eve fiesta, which is like a meetup for 60 people in Budapest, and we celebrated New Year's Eve together. And we went shooting from guns. And I had this watch which told me how is my heartbeat, and it was like lower than normal. And every time they shot the gun, it jumped into normal level, not even the higher. So for me, every time I feel adrenaline, I just like live as a normal human being. So maybe that's why I am craving it. Yeah, but
so um coming back to the Yes Fam, have you ever like done anything directly with the Yes Theory um
uh, with
group?
Yes Theory, I mean, with the Yes Theory, the guys who did the YouTube channel, no, I haven't met them. I met um, Thomas's, Matt's brother, Thomas, but otherwise, no. But with Yes Fam, like the community a lot, since 2 years or maybe even 2.5 already. Then I've been meeting up a lot of them, and some of them became actually my closest friends. So it's really nice to have someone who has the same mindset about traveling and seeking discomfort and just living life to the fullest. And I never thought I will find like a community like this, and I'm really happy that I did.
When I discovered Yes Theory, like because I've always wanted to travel, but I always thought like, oh, you know, I'm just gonna travel to like one country and then come back and then like you know
Yeah.
that'll be it. But then like after watching Yes Theory, it's like why stop at one? Like, why can't I go to, like, more? And then I joined the Facebook group, and then from the Facebook group, I seen that there was a Discord, and I like, I thought like maybe it would be like those groups where like there's a lot of people but they don't really talk, but then like there are actually people like active on there and they like talk about things, and I'm like, wow. And then like all these people travel, like that's crazy, right? And like and then or doesn't Yes Theory have like a website to help you find like cheaper flights and stuff like that?
Yes, I think they do, but it's just based on Kiwi. So they say that it's they find the cheapest, but I'm not sure how it actually works exactly. But I know that most search flights, like websites for searching the flights, come from Kiwi, which is a website made in actually like half Czech, half Slovak. So and they like discover this. I I can't really explain it because I am not into this technical part, but yeah, there are like a lot more. You can Skyscanner is always good, and Azair. It's like a really like older website, but it's really nice to find cheap flights for Europe there. And I think like it's always better to check more websites than less, because you never know where you can find a cheaper flight. So yeah.
So definitely not Expedia then.
I didn't even like which one?
Expedia, the app, like you, I don't. Maybe they don't have it, like in Europe, but
I didn't even hear about it. No, so
it's like an app, and like you can book like a flight and hotel, like through it. But they advertise it a lot. They talk about it a lot in the U.S. So maybe it's just in the U.S., but I'm not too sure.
Yeah, maybe it's a US thing. I had the flights like the interstate flights from Skyscanner, I think, because that was the only search engine I knew. But otherwise, in Europe, it's you can just go to the airline website and book it from there, because Ryanair and Wizz Air, that's like the two biggest like cheap companies here, where you can find flights for 10 euros. So usually you don't even need a search engine for that.
So I have to ask, so like looking at your background, right? It looks like you're pretty settled in your life in Slovakia, right? Or are you in Slovakia right now?
Yes, I am in Slovakia. I am in my family home. That's why there are so many stuff there, because this is my room where I grew up. So, but don't worry, I'm not settling down. I'm here.
The reason.
As soon as I can. Bye.
Oh, okay. The only reason I'm asking is because you said that you were gonna try to get a van and travel and all that kind of stuff, and that's really cool. But I was like looking at like how like settled everything is behind you, and so I was wondering how you were gonna like transfer everything you own and like
Yeah, I mean, I'm lucky enough that my parents, especially my mom, wants to keep like the room at the way it is, so they don't want to like redo it in like a fitness room when like as soon as I move out, so they are not kicking me out. So anytime I want to come back, I can. So I will probably leave most of my stuff here, or the things I don't need. So I will just take my clothes, everything I need for living, and like all my memories and like paintings and furniture. It will just stay here probably. But I am here just to be with my family for like 2-3 months, because I've been living in Czech Republic, as I said, and I am actually moving to Netherlands in January. So I will be away again. So I just wanted to catch up a little bit with them and then move on.
Are you moving to Netherlands for work or?
Yes, for work, because there is a better chance that I get a better job there, because the minimum wage is really low here, and in Netherlands the minimum wage is higher. The whole system, the healthcare system, everything is like a lot better than here. So that's one reason, and the other one is that I have my friends there who we want to like move in together. They are actually from Yes Fam, so we will have like a little Yes house, and it will be good. Yeah.
Are you guys gonna do the whole YouTube thing and like?
No, no, no. We are just moving together, and yeah, and we will see what will be after, because I will probably stay only till summer, and then in summer I plan to start the van rebuild, or maybe in 2 years we will see how it goes, and then travel with the van a little bit, then move back to Netherlands, and then travel with van again, and then ship myself to Canada.
I like that. It's really there's just something about when people have like a goal and they just go for it. I've always admired that, you know. It's my grandma raised me with the mentality, you know, if you say you're going to do something, then do it. If you're not going to do it, don't say it. And so, you know, I've always took that to heart, and I always feel like if I say something, it means if I say I'm gonna do something, it means I'm gonna do it, you know. So I really admire that trait in people, because it's not something everybody can do, and
Yeah.
sometimes it's out of your control, and I understand that. You know, sometimes you say you're gonna do something, something happens. Yeah, like so.
Yeah, it's not always easy, and I can see that people from different parts of the world, and they can grow up differently, that they can have it a lot harder. And I am really grateful that I've been lucky enough to even travel since I was born, basically, and that we always went into holidays every year. So I'm really grateful for that, and that showed me the way that it can be even easier, and that yeah, I think in Europe in general it can be a lot easier, because if you get here, it's easy to travel to different countries, and if you have like basic money, you don't even need to be like really rich or something, and you can still travel here. So that's nice.
I think that's like one of the great things about traveling is like you see how other people live, and you know, it gives you insight that like there exists more than just yourself and your little town and your little home, because I think that's a huge problem in the US. Like I feel like it's the reason why so many people are so like just focused on what's happening. Like I don't really know how to explain this without offending somebody. Oh, but some people are just like, and I feel like if they just some people grow up without even knowing about another country, they've never even left their town. I've grown up with people in Fresno that have only ever been in Fresno, and so they all they know about is Fresno. They don't even try to know about other countries or cities, and that like
But I think that's kind of different. Like, I feel like, okay, you don't need to have the passion to travel, but also to not be ignorant. Because I think like these people who stay in the same place at the same time, and it's okay. Like, everyone does what they want to do. But if they even don't want to hear about other nations or other countries, that's basically just ignorance, that you are living in your own little world and nothing else matters because the world is like turning around you. That's not right, I think.
Yeah,
But
I just feel like, you know, it's really important that, like, you know, people get to see that overall picture, kind of like insight, because when you do that, you start to realize the importance of voting, because then you see some countries where you don't really get a vote, and some countries, you know, where voting is done really well. You know, it gives you that insight for like the big picture all around in terms of the world. And you know, though I may not have been many places physically, luckily, you know, through books and through articles and through, you know, YouTube videos or whatever, I've been, you know, able to see places and experience, you know, or not experience, but able to see the experience of others. And you know, that really helps, you know, bring to light a lot of the issues in your own country, and a lot of the issues with some of the people in your country, because, you know, like I said, a lot of the people in the US only really care about what's going on there, like not even like in the country. They only care about what's happening like in their little neighborhood. It,
yeah, but you can't really do anything about it. Like you can try to explain them and maybe show the good parts about knowing more. So maybe that's when they will realize that, oh, okay, yeah, it makes sense to know the other countries, but otherwise they will just live in their own little world. That's why I even like Yes Fam, because they are open to know everything about every country. And actually on Discord, since I am on there, I've been getting like a lot more knowledge about not only the countries, but the systems, how it works. The whole COVID situation, I always had the most like the updated like the recent updates than, for example, my dad, who just watched TV, because I always talk to the people who were in that country, so they told me straight that, okay, we had this and this problem today and this happened. So I always knew that like the most fresh news, which is nice. So
if you don't mind, I'm just gonna go check my phone really quick because I want to see how the elections are going.
yeah.
I shouldn't have thrown my phone.
I will actually check it to 264.
It hasn't changed at all. Not, that's frustrating, but that's another topic.
Yeah, I know everyone in the US are now like super stressed and frustrated, because I have some friends from US too, and they are just, yeah, super stressed about it. And I can't even imagine, even me looking at it, not living in the country, is like, come on, go. But
it's there's a lot of memes right now. So, you know, at least they're trying to find some positivity around there.
Yeah, here too. We are actually making like the Europe and like the whole world is probably making memes of US.
Yeah. So. One thing that I've really liked though is like I follow a couple people on Instagram from Australia, and they've been really vocal about like supporting, you know, Black Lives Matter in the US, and you know, really supporting a lot of the US causes for like, you know, basic human rights and stuff like that that are still kind of flawed. And you know, it's kind of cool to see like other countries, people from other countries like come out and support, you know, the issues. And then one of the people that I follow, they said something very interesting to me, and they were talking about like, oh, you know, people in Australia act like these problems don't exist here. There's like, but they do. We just don't talk about them as much as they do in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And I found that very interesting because I feel like in the US we kind of think that we're the center of like racism and stereotypes, which it's easy to believe that, right? Because so many people from so many different countries live here, like
Mm-hmm.
so many. And
Yeah.
so it you kind of believe that, like, because so many people from around the world come to this country, it kind of almost feels like the world revolves around it. But like, it's that can't be any further from the truth. Like like
But
the
also
US.
it's yeah, but also it's different there because I can like there is because US people, like people from US, the discuss the topic that much, and they try to have like revolutions and the government pushes back, so it's like so much discussed that that's why it's like bringing the attention there, that people are really fighting for it and against it, which is like nice to see. But also it's like really sad that people still need to fight for basic human rights. And but that's another topic. So
Yeah, yeah, I definitely agree. In the last episode that I recorded, because I had recorded an episode before I got sick, another story, didn't upload it. I didn't like it, but we did end up talking about a lot of political things, and that goes on for quite a while. Uh, yeah,
yeah, that's a whole new topic we can discuss for hours. So
yeah, and we're already reaching close to 2 hours. Yeah, so I don't want to keep you from living your life that you have right now, because your day just started. Yeah, thank you